этом году, дорогие друзья, мы подготовили для гостей и участников Startup Village особенную вечернюю программу Cinema Night. Показ игровой кинокартины «Дело» режиссера Алексея Германа-младшего, чьи картины отмечены кинематографическими премиями и наградами.
This year we're going to show a very interesting picture by Alexei German Jr. The Evening Film Festival will be supported by Startup Village 2022 partner Patriki Film Festival. And we will have an interview with the author of the plot, and I have the honor to invite this person to the stage. Please welcome the
Alexei,
writer and the director of the movie Case, Alexei German Jr. and
Patriki Film Festival.
the founder of Patriki Film Festival. Now I'll say goodbye to you, ladies and gentlemen, and wish you an interesting viewing. Hi, everybody. It's cold, but I really hope that you will have a really warm time listening to our dialogue and watching our film. Alexei German came from St. Petersburg. He will speak about his movie and the technologies of the movies. Of course, we have to touch upon this topic. This is a hot topic for Startup Village, for Patriki Film Festival in particular, because we are the first startup in the world, and we are first online festival with the international jury, and that is why it's most important for us to use all the technologies. This crossing of innovative movements and the new technologies and the cinema. We had to be involved in this. Alexei, the first question. The idea of creating the Case movie, what literature did you use in the very beginning? And once again, we're talking about pandemic, we have been closed. What is the idea? How did you came up with it? So, you as the author, tell us about this. Alexei, about 5 years ago I asked myself how to make a cheap movie. How to have it controllable and fast. How to do it all like that, and I've been thinking on it for a very long time. And at some point, I understood that it has to be closed, looped. And we need just to have a person locked in his flat, and he wouldn't be able to get away from that. I started thinking about the circumstances. It was a challenge. How to make it fast, cheap, and for it to work in the end. Okay. So basically you start with technology. So you had the specification based on the technological calculations. Right. I had a series of ideas, and everything had to be done in one and the same space. And then I was choosing things which were closer to me personally, more interesting to me personally, that would work out in the end. Of course, yeah, that's the specification. That's a great idea, a short log line. So this is basically the business calculation in the ads campaigns. And how exactly did you fill in the artistic part in the end? I've seen the movie several times during the festival in particular. That is why I would like to hear. So you started technically, and then you filled in all the ideas, right? Yes, it's born somehow after that. Yeah, I was thinking about the home arrest, and I was remembering some literature. What kind of literature? Well, different literature. I have a wide range of favorite Russian authors. And I then started recalling one of my colleagues, a good friend of mine, the St. Petersburg producer, who had the same situation. He has been arrested, and he couldn't leave the house for several days, maybe even months. So yeah, that was something personal. Of course that was personal. Then I started working with the writer, Ogneva, and we started developing this form. And then we started improving it it, and yeah, it took some time, indeed, quite a long time. And then pandemic started. Oh, so it was before the pandemic. Oh yes, long before the pandemic. We stopped at a very big picture, so, and we decided to film this, to have a bigger picture. So there were investments, there were some opportunities, and we could do it fast, not to lose the team which was working on a bigger picture. Okay, so it was very fast, yes. And speaking about the team of your movie, so basically the back office, etc. Could you please tell us about the cast? It's unique indeed. And I would like to say that we can see this great Russian soul in your cast. Did you want some particular actor? Did you have some roles created for particular artists or not? Yeah, we had some artists, for example, Anna Mikhalkova. Yes, she was one of the characters we created the roles for. Mirab Nenidze as well, he's being arrested. Khochenko as well. Okay. We were looking for Hayrulina, we were thinking about her. So, did you cast them all? Well, we just thought who could be these characters, and we stopped at Hayrulina.
Соответственно, да, под Бортич писали, потому что...
Bортich, yeah. So we created the role for her because she was supposed to be filmed in another picture, and for some reason she decided to get pregnant and actually broke all their schedules.
Зачем люди беременеют?
Why do the people get pregnant, indeed? Yeah, and I said, okay, we can film you. And she said, I'm giving birth. Right now? Yes, right now. So she gave birth and got to the stage after that. So yeah, I guess right after giving birth, of course.
Смысл был...
The idea, the artistic, was artistic and commercial. On one hand, we needed to attract the people with whom we have been working, or not working, but usually working. On the other hand, it was supposed to be in a box office. Okay, yes. It went from commercial part to the artistic. Yeah, actually, yes. Because all the big companies actually decided not to work with us. All of them. Some stupid ideas and reasons. Even after Keynes. Yes, even after Keynes. They got scared for unknown reason. But this actually... wasn't based on something significant. We took the people with whom we could work comfortably. Good actors as well. You have been participating in different A-class festivals. Venice, Berlin, Cannes Film Festival. A special view, participant in the competition. It's an honor. How did you feel? How did Cannes treat it? We did understand that we will go to Venice or Cannes, so and then we didn't understand whether we will actually manage to get there. So you are speaking about...
You're speaking
about the algorithm, like you calculated it all. Yeah, so actually when you are editing the picture, you are getting the feedback, and there are world-renowned experts. And by their feedback, we understood that we're going to Cannes, and that we are going there. So actually it was post-COVID year, so and it was rather hard to do that. And the picture was actually... viewed with positive reviews. It was treated very good. People accepted it. There was a critical acclaim. It was supposed to be shown in lots of places, but now we are being removed from cinemas, Paris, etc., for known reason. But the picture received a positive critical acclaim, but currently the Views are being stopped all over the world. We are being removed from festivals. Yeah, but actually, yes, the films are being shown for 2 or 3 years after festivals, within the framework of the festivals. Yes, but they are not declining it beforehand. We have the authorization in the very beginning, and then they're sending us the letter. Don't you want to get away, remove your movie from the festival? And we're saying no, and they're removing it themselves. But okay, we're okay with that. Yes, we will see this movie. You can actually go to Star's platform, and if you are not going to be able to watch it till the end here, you can watch it back home. But I would like to speak about technologies right now, since you are a person who knows how to work with it. I will mention very interesting things. The Air movie, which you stopped for obvious reasons, COVID reasons,
всего того, что произошло, и продолжил.
and everything occurring, and you then continued filming it after it all.
Последнее, что я
This Воздух, Air film.
павильоны, те
800 square meters of pavilion, the LED panels,
самолета,
the huge plane models. So you had Unreal Engine
да, понятно,
for you,
изобретал
and of course different cameras and technologies, etc.
у нас.
So all the technologies of Hollywood, nobody has done it before you. So basically you disrupted this canvas.
Вот инновационную такую.
So this is basically breaking through the innovative barricades. What was working? How did it work? We can see how it worked technically. What did you manage to do? What didn't you manage to do? Well, it was more complicated than compared to Hollywood. The technology was more complicated. The 800 meters screen, dynamic computer effects, yes, that's clear. The changing trajectory of planes, that's clear as well. But simultaneously with that, at the same time, the devices, the 8-meter devices which were holding the planes, that wasn't done never has it been done worldwide, but it's a good result indeed. But of course, we saw the errors in the very beginning. Because once again, the cameras are a very important thing here.
И, к сожалению, пока ты не на самолете, ты многие вещи не понимаешь с точки зрения крепления.
Selected lots of cameras, and of course, it's impossible to understand which camera is better, and you have to try it first. This is,
Задержек было,
К сожалению,
this is always the trial and effect in the end.
значит,
The
делать
trial and errors. We have been doing it together with EXO company.
оказалось, что требуется чуть больше вычислительной мощности.
Unfortunately, we needed more calculation power and more tests.
В итоге я считаю, что
And in the end, I believe that the experiment was a success
крайне сложно.
because it was extremely complicated, and quite obviously,
Но
it has its own future and opportunities, but we are
нету ни у кого в Восточной Европе
the bearers of a unique experience which hasn't been seen anywhere in the
и кровью.
Eastern Europe.
Там есть существенное различие.
Money is not that important here, so the plane is not that hard. So yes, and this unique link of cameras from the game engine, etc. So in this case,
вашего технического партнера. Это тоже
even your technical partner never had this experience. Nobody in the country had any experience. And honestly, nobody in Europe had this experience. Maybe there were single cases in the world, possibly, but nowhere here on the continent. I don't know about the US.
актеры привыкли все.
Okay, and American actors are used to playing in pavilions.
Making of очень многих.
So when we're watching the making of Avatar, Star Wars, and many other films, so you do understand that they're all used to
Такой опыт имели.
acting in such conditions. Our actors didn't have this experience on such a large scale. You as a director, so you are the conductor of the symphony of the movie. So what do you think? Did our teams and cast manage to work
Была гравитация.
well here? Well, honestly, gravity was important. To create the gravity in the pavilion, that was important. Unfortunately, some artists
так сказать, полюбили гравитацию. И не все были...
Didn't enjoy the gravity. And some of them didn't agree with this. So some actually agreed, some didn't agree with doing that. Yeah, so it's all about physiology. I know that American actors wouldn't decline this offer. Some of them have to be persuaded. They would turn green, blue, they would die temporarily, they would say that they would get sick, and so on. At the same time, something would break. And of course, there would be those noises, so people expected to die there. It would add some drama there. And of course, at the same time, we would start put them on fire. They would be scared. They don't believe in our national technologies. They really believe that they will just fall apart, everything will fall apart, and they will fall down. But of course, nothing fell apart, and of course they're too kind to themselves. Okay, you answered my second and third questions about complications and interesting events. Speaking about production and stages of production, it was important to film the whole technological filming, so it had to be filming after the real flights and authentics. And speaking about the real flights, was it complicated there? Of course, the technology of the real flights is existing, but you still launched some real planes of that time, did you? No. To tell you the truth, here and now, I believe that most of the Russian CGI is crap. Mainly. Initially, we wanted to omit this, to mitigate it somehow, to use the real planes. Unfortunately, real planes which would be capable of flying, of that time I mean. So there is Il-2, MiG-3, something else, I'm not sure. They are in, we have them in Russia, but we don't have the German ones in Russia, so we needed to have lots of foreign planes as well. But as soon as we decided to go there, COVID started. The planes are in Czech Republic, in Germany, and once again, so they would alleviate the limitations, wouldn't. We have been drinking beer in the streets without masks, and everybody abroad was dying of this terrible virus. And we were forced to use many replacement planes. They are not looking as they look like this. We will need to work on them in post-production right now. But the plan was much more beautiful initially than the final stages of the implementation. We'll try to edit it somehow. It's complicated because all of these national movies about the pilots, so they're all different. Let's say it like this. Okay, and the last question. Not to postpone the viewing. Tell us, please, what do you think? Speaking about naturology, considering that you have touched upon the topic of technologies in the cinema, and something is forcing you to create new projects, to create something technological-wise. First, A, what are the trends in the cinema, and what to expect in the industry? What do you say? It's hard to say. Some technologies are getting cheaper, that's obvious, and this is a good thing. At that, there is definitely some kind of a lobby which is trying to maintain prices in Russia. But actually they should get cheaper. People are there. Not too many of those, but they are there. And the question is, money. It always requires money. And considering that the box office is actually dying out in Russia, whether there'll be some money is questionable because there have to be projects to understand the technologies and to have the mass production. I don't know whether we will have it all. And what about the technologies? So, what technologies have potential? We have lots of startups, and some people are unable to come to Moscow, so technologically they are capable of providing the technologies. So I would like to know the opinion of a guru like yourself. What technologies are potentially going to be demanded in the nearest future? I don't know a thing about technologies, so the usage of technology, I don't know. So I believe that damping and creating cheaper technologies at maintaining quality.
Условный миллион рублей, и все в индустрии знают.
The conditional million of rubles,
Все знают.
which is known as an expensive thing all over the industry. And then this million, conditional million, is actually becoming 1.5 million because, well, guys, it became more complicated and stuff like this. So these companies are going to leave the market, that's for sure. They have to be replaced by younger guys who are capable of using Unreal 5 engine, etc.
Я не знаю, как там.
I'm going to say a terrible thing, so I don't know, correct or not.
И предлагать то же самое.
Offering the same things,
Все виртуально
cheaper has to be there.
будут развиваться.
All the virtual studios are going to develop. All the screen systems are going to develop. However,
Так сказать, то, что проецируется на экраны
whatever is being projected on the screens
реальными предметами, это работает только так. Это
has to be combined with real items. And it has to be like that. It shouldn't be something separate. It shouldn't be filmed
здесь проекция. Не работает.
like
Как бы
ads or series. The world in front and the world in the back has to be complicated. So we don't know how to do it properly so far. Yes, from the artistic point of view. Yeah, but once again, artistic point of view, there has to be experts in every field, in every area. It's important, it's impossible to separate one from another. We're talking about design here, we are talking about business here. These are different categories which have to be linked together. To tell you the truth, it's all about the next generations, which are going to start doing the service of the film production, and they have to have the ambitions and the understanding that they have to consume the old film producers, because if they leave the market, things won't change drastically, and everybody has to understand this.
Okay, your opinion, you being a guru of authenticity and artistic vision, so you got a bear for the Vlatov, which is a rare thing for artistic vision in the movie. Normally it's given to operators, to photography directors. It was given to my wife, and she's an artist. That was your artistic vision. So from that perspective, you see the development, you joined technology, and you did such a large-scale film with the use of technologies. So things do develop, and we have many people who are artistic who join it. So I would like to hear your opinion in relation to this, how it will develop. What about 3D? Do you think there's a potential for 3D in Russia and in movie theaters and in filmmaking in general? So will we go there or not ready? It seems to me, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think 3D is kind of dying out on the world at this technological stage because having goggles, etc., it's not very convenient, comfortable. Maybe they'll make them more comfortable. It's not so much about that in Russia. So, speaking about multi-channel sound, was invented in the Soviet Union. Consequently, you know what happened in the final analysis. 3D cameras existed in the Soviet Union, in the MIGFI Institute until recent times. Older innovators created a new technology on the basis of a foreign digital camera, how to make 3D, but there was no demand for it. But we're not recipients of technologies.
Соответственно,
So consequently, I think 3D is not relevant anymore until they invent cheaper technology, because you need to have two cameras. All those foreigners that come need to pay a lot, and they want to have a nice life, etc. So basically, if there is a cheaper, simpler technology, it will work. But otherwise, and we may have we may deny access to it unless we have our own camera. So you'll see Avatar 2. They invested so much money, and talented people, they want a lot of money, $200 million. And with our prices, even if we don't want to make anything revolutionary, even if they resist it, it'll end up being revolutionary. But do it not for $200 million, but for $5 to $10 million. That would be something. But if you have $200 million budget, a fool can do it. Not a fool. But in any case, so let's see. So thank you so much for that. If there is a question, I will share the mic. I will pass on the mic and we'll ask it. But if it's cold and we want to start the viewing of the movie, let's proceed. So let's watch the movie. Thank you so much.
температурах окружающей среды тела быстро теряют энергию. Но нахождение вблизи источника тепла позволяет телу получать тепловое излучение. Происходит самопроизвольное перераспределение тепла. Следовательно, когда источники тепла находятся вместе, их энергия побеждает холод. Лучшее создается вместе. Газпромбанк.
МТС Стартап Хаб. Работа с реальным бизнес-заказчиком МТС. Доступ к ресурсам самого крупного телеком-бренда в России. Не можешь поверить? А в твой стартап обязательно поверят. У нас есть все, что тебе понадобится. Ресурсы, клиенты, технологии, каналы продаж. Мы оценим твой продукт, правильно применим в своем бизнесе и масштабируем на мировой рынок. МТС Стартап Хаб ждет тебя и твоих нереальных бизнес-идей.
ВК-звонки доступны везде и без ограничений. В 4К и с активным шумоподавлением. Будьте всегда на связи в ВК-звонках.
Встречайте приложение ВК-клипы. Удобный видеоредактор. Уникальные маски и эффекты. И стильные фильтры для обработки. Еще быстрее, проще, вертикальнее. Теперь в отдельном приложении ВК-клипы. Место встречи талантов.
Привет! Классно шьешь, варишь, печешь и вообще что-то производишь в Москве? Тогда сейчас самое время поверить в то, что ты делаешь, заявить о себе и занять свое место на рынке, пока другие не заняли. Смотри, это твоя дверь в новый мир. Открывай и узнай, чем мы можем тебе помочь. Москва-24 для бизнеса. Давай с нами.
Журнал «Эксперт» — это российский и международный бизнес, общественно-политические процессы, аналитика и прогнозы, рейтинги и интервью. Специальные условия на подписку на сайте expert.ru. «Эксперт» — настоящий деловой журнал.
быстро теряют энергию. Но нахождение вблизи источника тепла позволяет телу получать тепловое излучение. Происходит самопроизвольное перераспределение тепла. Следовательно, когда источники тепла находятся вместе, их энергия побеждает холод. Лучшее создается вместе. Газпромбанк.
МТС Стартап Хаб. Работа с реальным бизнес-заказчиком МТС. Доступ к ресурсам самого крупного телеком-бренда в России. Не можешь поверить? А в твой стартап обязательно поверят. У нас есть все, что тебе понадобится. Ресурсы, клиенты, технологии, каналы продаж. Мы оценим твой продукт, правильно применим в своем бизнесе и масштабируем на мировой рынок. МТС Стартап Хаб ждет тебя и твоих нереальных бизнес-идей.
Я верю, что сама выбираю, какой я буду завтра. Я могу выбрать быть сильнее, быстрее, легче, а могу проиграть. Но меня это не остановит. Мой выбор — уверенно двигаться к своей цели. Верь в свой выбор. World Class.